Genesis chapter 6. When man began to multiply on the face of the land, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive, and they took as their wives any they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in man forever, for he is flesh. His days shall be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days. And also afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of man, they bore children to them. These were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intention of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord regretted that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him to his heart. So the Lord said, I will blot out man whom I have created from the face of the land, man and animals and creeping things and birds of the heavens, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless in his generation. Noah walked with God. And Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth was filled with violence. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And God said to Noah, I have determined to make an end of all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark, and cover it inside and out with pitch. This is how you are to make it. The length of the ark 300 cubits, its breadth 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Make a roof for the ark, and finish it to a cubit above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. For behold, I will bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, in which is the breath of life under heaven. Everything that is on the earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of every living thing of all flesh, you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Of the birds according to their kinds, and of the animals according to their kinds, of every creeping thing of the ground according to its kind, 2 of every sort shall come in to you, to keep them alive. Also take with you every sort of food that is eaten, and store it up. It shall serve as food for you and for them. Noah did this. He did all that God commanded him. So a couple thoughts on this chapter. This isn't really a thought that came into my head while I was reading, but I feel like it's something that needs to be addressed. So it says that the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive. And so, big difference there. Sons of God, there is a debate, obviously, who the sons of God are. Are they angels? Are they demons? What are they? Are they fallen angels? Which, in common understanding, are demons. It also says the Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of man, when they had children with humans. The daughters of man being the daughters of Adam, and so forth, down the generational line. But what does this actually mean? Is it possible for an angel or a demon to have children with women? I have no idea. I don't claim to know those secrets. God knows that. But it seems like that's what it's saying. It seems like, the Nephilim were not viewed as... It says that they were on the earth. They were mighty men of old, the men of renown. In some versions it says the heroes of old. And so they had like superhuman abilities. But who the Nephilim are, no idea. Are they still on the earth? Well, apparently not, because God flooded the earth, so I don't think we need to even think about this. You could do your own deep dive into it if you want to. That's a really big rabbit hole to go down, and there's lots of conspiracy theories out there that I do not promote, nor do I support, and I also don't agree with. So, I believe God when he says that he flooded the earth, and which leads me to my actual next point, where it says, I think it's amazing. It's amazing in a bad way, I guess. It says that the Lord saw that every intention of the thoughts of man's heart was only evil continually. Every intention, every thought of every heart was only evil all the time. So when people say, well, how could God just flood the earth and kill everyone? There is evil on the earth. God sees everyone's heart. There's only evil all the time. I believe that God looks at this and sees there is no opportunity for repentance. The only righteous man is Noah. Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Why? Well, it says in verse 9 at the end, Noah walked with God. Just like Adam walked with God before sin, Enoch walked with God and then was not, and Noah walked with God. So there's only 3 men so far that we see are faithful, who actually have the ability and the relationship to walk with the Lord. Something for us as for those of us who are believers in Jesus to actually attain to walk with God. And then God speaks to his friends. He tells his friends his secrets. Noah is his friend, obviously. Noah walked with God. It's a term that is highly intimate. You know, they walked hand in hand, side by side, together. He tells Noah the secret, shows him literally a blueprint of how to build the ark so that every animal can come on board and his family will be safe. I think it's amazing. Like, we know what the law of sin is. The law of sin equals death, but there is also a law of righteousness, and Noah's family is even under the covering of God only because of Noah. Noah walked in righteousness, walked with God. You can't walk with God if there's sin in your life. I think that's Noah obviously had zero consciousness of sin. And this is pre-Jesus, right? Pre-cross. So I think that's amazing that God covers his family too. And I think the last thing here that I will say, lots of people have the question, well, how did Noah gather up all the animals of the earth? How did he have to travel? And those types of questions. Well, God actually tells him, in verse 20 it says, 2 of every sort shall come into you to keep them alive. So every animal actually came to Noah. And then the very last verse says it all. Noah did this. He did all that God commanded him, which is why he walked with God. He walked with God because his heart was soft towards the Lord, and the Lord honored him. So those are thoughts, and that is chapter 6. And up next is chapter 7.